Everybody, number 16, everybody stand, and we'll sing a little circle. Rejoice and be glad that we are in it. And I'd like to welcome our online people that are watching on www.innergarden.com, and also welcome all of you and tell you God loves you, and so do we. Would you like to give your neighbor a welcome and tell them glad to see you this weekend? How much you missed them. Well, I'd like you to join me for the prayer. Just remain standing. Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing us to come here today and bring to us this wonderful medium that is going to share her wonderful gifts with us this morning. We ask that you guide us to take your love and your blessings to each person that we meet throughout the week. Amen. Well, be seated. Well, I'd like to welcome everyone. We just had an absolute wonderful time last Sunday. And somebody said to me, sometimes when people have a big service one week, they came that week, so next week they don't come. So we hope that that's not the case. A few more are going to wander in. But thank you for the people that are here, and Mary would say that as well. We always know that we welcome the ones that are here, and the ones that are supposed to be here will show up. We'd like to acknowledge and validate and appreciate all the people that do help us put this church together, all the volunteers. Without them, of course, we cannot keep this church running. And we are going to also thank our musical ministry. And this week, Celia Collins is joining us. And if you give her a hand, and Reverend Mary Brooks is from the Lighthouse.
I'm not a reverend.
Aren't you reverend?
I'm not a reverend.
Oh my goodness, take off her reverency. She's a very reverend person.
I'm a very
reverend person. Yeah. We'll call her the reverend person.
But I've never been ordained.
You haven't got ordained. Well, we'll just have to down you with something. So, anyway, it doesn't really matter, because when you're a minister for God, you're a minister for God. It doesn't really matter. Mary, I've known for many, many years. And one thing that I can say, that she's always been dedicated and always been a caring, loving person. And so we're going to hear from Mary a little bit further on. So if we would now just stand and sing number 9, and then Mary's going to give us some interesting insight. we're going to get the pleasure of asking our dear sweet Mary to come and give us her address.
Do I have to hold that? Well, if you can talk really down to the back. No, otherwise we don't get you on tape.
I've been known for my loud voice.
Okay.
When I was asked to come and do this service, I asked for a lot of things on what it is that you do and how it's done. And I was guided this morning when I asked if I was going to do a reading to a book called Hints on Spiritual Unfoldment, which is a book that's been around for a long time, and it was authored by Ursula Roberts, who I believe was instrumental in a lot of spiritual work in the United Kingdom. The chapter I'm reading from is called a chapter called Sacrifice, and it's just a small excerpt, and I hope you will enjoy it. Following that, I'm going to close my eyes, just so I'm not distracted, and allow that inspiration, not trance, but inspiration to come through. Persons, even more than things, cause us to bind ourselves with fetters of possessiveness. The breaking of such fetters has to come about by a change of attitude and by disowning the relationship. Freedom of the soul is a state of consciousness, not a state of splendid isolation. As so many sincere aspirants come to grief over this matter, it is necessary for you and me to understand it as fully as possible and come to know that once the right attitude is achieved, then the sacrifice may be unnecessary. It is the willingness to let go, the ability to feel able to relinquish a dear companionship which is important, and quite often when you reach the point of being able to do so, like Abraham, you might find it will not be necessary. You sit so patiently, so quietly. Are you as patient and as quiet with yourself as you think about your service to God, to the Great Spirit? Or are you, my friends, like so many others, in a great hurry? Do you feel that you must have it all and do it all at this moment? You feel that once your heart has opened to the great light, that all knowledge will pour forth, and you will be able to work so quickly with all knowledge? Or do you understand, my friends, that it takes time? It takes time to work with your belief system, the ones that you have grown up with the challenges that you have within your mind about your understandings of how all things are, how they have been to you. And as you grow in your understanding of the things spiritual, then perhaps that which you have believed is challenged, that which you have believed is then in question. Many of us are reluctant to give up that which we believe. We are reluctant to move forward into the unknown and to say, I am open and I am willing. Because, my friends, we do not wish to make you an empty vessel and pour forth new knowledge. We very much work with who you are. Not who you have been, with who you are, with your beliefs. And that which are no longer valid to you, you begin to question. And as you change them, more new knowledge comes to you. You are not left with just a blank mind. When you go into the silence, you do not have a blank mind. You have thoughts. And as you let go of the daily thoughts, more spiritual to you begins to shine, begins to show you a different way of thinking and believing. There is no one who says you must. You're only shown. And if it makes sense to you, then, and only then, can you accept it fully into your being. Willingness to let go. Willingness to look at how you are. Willingness to look at what you have in your life. There is the story of those who are not willing to let go of that which makes them who they are. They are entrenched in that belief or that way of being. Whether it be about material things, about people, about belief systems. It is all able to be changed, is it not? Are you so entrenched that you cannot accept a new thought? If that new thought challenges your beliefs, you will let it go. But if there is a seed of light within that thought, perhaps you will allow yourself to explore. Perhaps you will allow yourself to see how a new thought is in conflict with that you have believed. Perhaps you will see in letting go of that with which you are entrenched, to see that it all is part of the same. All belief systems have love as their base, have caring for self and others as that sword. The sword that says, I am willing to move forward for others and for myself. And it is the trial, my friends. It is the questioning and the testing of ourselves. That is the greatest challenge of this life. To see beyond this material world, to see beyond that which we feel we need and we are, and which make the statement of I am. The I am, my friends, is your spirit. The I am is that spirit working through you. But if you do not keep the walls of life open, you soon build them and put yourself into that narrow tunnel. But all things, my friends, if we do that, if we are so entrenched in any belief, is that not breeding ground for judgment? And how, my friends, do we get to acceptance of all things? All things, so to speak. Perhaps it is time to look at that which we feel we need, that which we say we are, that we have carried with us through eons of time, and see ourselves as spirit, seeing spirit in all things, being open to that which comes our way, to be willing to look at it, to explore it, to let go. And perhaps you will find that in the seed of letting go, there is is more that you have. In letting go, you may find all things draw to you. And that which you let go to be free, whether it be of person or of material thing, may then find its way to you. Because, my friends, Spirit, God, will always ensure that you have what you need. And it is up to you to look upon your life and to allow the questions to come, to allow that light to come in, to allow the walls to dissolve. And that, my friends, we do not expect you to do overnight. It may take eons of time. And that, my friends, you will always have. Willingness to let go. A phrase to think upon. As we let go of this physical body, we understand that there are no barriers but what we have within our mind. I thank you for listening, my friends. It has been our pleasure to be of service.
Well, that was really a wonderful experience for a lot of people that are not seeing inspirational come through someone and actually directly speak, which is just wonderful. So thank you, Mary, and I'll just see that you want a little drink of water. I'll just put it beside you. Okay. Well, of course, we know that we are a healing ministry, and every day that we have healing facilitators that are sending healing out. And at the back of the church, in the red ring there of chairs, we do have a bowl, and you may fill out a little piece of paper on there with first names only. And we will do prayers every day, concentrating on that bowl, and each of the people who have been presented there, they will get healing prayer from our healers. We also have hands-on healing. If anybody would like to go to the back and sit in there, we have a couple of healing facilitators that are here this morning that will go to the back and work with you if you should so need it. We do absent healing, of course, every day. We also realize that when healing is given forward, that it is placed into the thought pattern. Once somebody asks for a request for healing, it goes into our thought pattern, multiplied by 10, by 10, by 10, by 10, by 10, by each of you that are connected in the healing prayer. So we're going to do meditation, so just relax and allow yourself to be part of that. Where God resides and healing begins. that work together with all of the organs. And allow those organs to be like a wonderful symphony concert orchestra that play their instruments independently, but they play with such harmony and such rhythm that they are working for the whole beauty of the piece they are playing. And as you breathe the energy in and revitalize all of the energies in the body, in the cells, and the organs, know that you are doing that to bring healing to the whole. And as the energy comes in again to the tips of the toes, allow it to expand into the mind. Let the mind open and be receptive. Let the mind be positive and be healthy, so that it may touch the dreams, the ideas that God has to make you all that you can be. Allow those dreams, those thoughts, those energies to come through the mind to healthy growth, so that they will grow and produce the dream that God has for you. Breathing in again, allow yourself to come in touch with the Spirit, that part of yourself that is always perfect. And allow the Spirit to communicate to the mind and the body what it needs for this journey that it is having in this physical existence. And as you have healed your own self, body, mind, and spirit, be like a pebble in a great pond of energy, and allow your energy to move forward and ripple outward, and let it touch each member in the room. And joining together, allowing the energy to draw through everyone to facilitate the healing. Taking a deep breath now, think about outside of this room, into the community of your family, the community around you, of your teachers and your leaders, and allow that energy to ripple out and touch all of them, so that they too may experience the wonderful healing, the wonderful peace. Allow that energy now to go forward into the world, and not only touch the world's leaders, but to touch the animals, the vegetation, the waters, the atmosphere, so that they may be healed. And let us be thankful to the animals and the vegetation and the minerals that give of themselves and serve us so greatly and feed us so well. Allow us now to reach out into the universe, into other parts of the universe that we are not familiar with. For many mansions in God's world that we are not aware of every room and every mansion. But we send love and we send caring, for God promises us that love and healing is never ending. And all we need to to do is ask. And the energy will follow the intention of the thought. And the healing will begin. Now, as we circle back to the seat of the soul, take a few moments just to sit quietly before you come back to your everyday workaday world, to enjoy the tranquility and the peace of the healing area of your garden, the inner garden of healing. And know that you may visit here at any time. And God has promised the love and the healing is never ending. So open your hearts, your mind, and your hand. God bless you, and He sends His angels to keep after you.
Thank you to all my healing facilitators and to Spirit, which brings God's healing energy to in this room and outward to the world. Well, we have some announcements that we're going to make. The first announcement is that next week's speaker, which we're really fortunate, we have some really fantastic people that come in, like Mary, and give their time and speak for us, so that we can have changes in week to week and not get bored with the same minister up here all the time. So it's really wonderful that we do have Claudette Golden. Now, Claudette has attended the church here a number of times, and she will be coming next week. She's well known as one of the best Reiki teachers and practitioners in this area, and actually does go all over Canada. I'm not too sure, but I think in the States as well. Claudette is also an accomplished medium and a tremendous inspirational speaker. So we're really fortunate to have her come and join us next week. So don't miss it. I think you'll really enjoy what Claudette has to say. Now, I want to compliment all of you from last week. We had, without a word of a lie, the most inspiring Sunday that started right up from the 11 o'clock service when we had messages to Spirit. And everybody has asked us to continue that, trying to do it once a year because they had such a good time. We had 60 people in attendance. Everybody participated, lit a candle, brought a message into the message box to give message to Spirit. Thank them for all the times that they come and give us messages all year. And we just had an absolute wonderful time. And we had a potluck lunch afterwards for those people that stayed. And then we had a British medium named Gail Elaine. And she did angelic mediumship, which a lot of people had not seen before. And she was talking about the angel realm and how the Spirit, through angels, were bringing information to each and every person here. And she did, indeed, give a message to every person. And we had 45 people in the congregation that did come to the service with Gail Elaine. And she is now gone back to England. She had a schedule that would have made most of us our heads spin. She left here, West Vancouver, on Monday to do some readings, took off in the afternoon to Victoria, came back and flew out Tuesday morning to go back to Britain, and she had about 3 weeks here of real intense work. So it just shows you how Spirit can energize you and keep you going when you're using the right energy. We also would like to ask, is there any birthdays here today? Good. Yours and mine this week, too. What day is yours? Today, yours today, mine's Halloween. Whatever. Anybody else? Well, we'll sing happy birthday.
You know, they just nod their heads, and then when you ask them, oh, did you understand? They say, well, no, I didn't really. But, you know, they're just so happy to have you talking to me. Yes, talk to me some more. But I don't understand a thing you're saying. So please, if I come to you and you don't understand, please tell me, because my job is to go back to them. It's not bad manners to tell me you don't understand. Because I go back to Spirit then, and they will, you know, give me more information or more proof or whatever it is that is needed for that message. And speak up, don't be afraid, you know. That voice that we have is actually a vibration. And it's like the telephone. If you have that vibration coming across, you're more ready to say, wow, you know, they heard me. Okay, I'm going to talk some more. And that's what happens when we connect with the spirit world. And it is proof of survival, it is guidance. And so let's see what we have here with you. Okay, Maureen, I'm drawn to you first thing as I'm looking out. For some reason, you're standing out to me there. As I'm connecting with you, I know that I have a lady present here, please. I have a lady coming forward, and I'm feeling a very soft and gentle energy with this lady. All right? I feel like I have someone who really loved you and cared for you very much. All right? I'm not getting a good visual on her at the moment. I'm not seeing a lot of her. But I do know that this lady would not have been a very big woman. All right? I feel that she would have been shorter than myself, and I feel that she would have been very small in frame. And even though she was small in frame, I feel that as she became older, she became much softer in her shape. Would you understand if I say that to you, please? And I feel like, you know, she would have been someone who would have, you know, held her arms, I feel like this, because this is how I want to go, right? And I also feel that this was someone who would have hugged you a lot or would have touched you in this way. Would you understand that, please? Because I'm very much getting this motion. And she's saying, and I have been around you often, she says, but lately you haven't needed that. Would you understand my saying that to you, please? She's saying because things have really turned around for you, and I feel like, you know, you've come through that period that some say, you know, the light was at the end of the tunnel and you found it, and recognized it when you got there. But it was something that you never thought that you would actually notice. Do you understand, Cece? Yeah. And she's saying that, you know, so many things in your life have changed, because she's saying, you know, it's like it's turned right over, you know, because I'm getting like the flipping of the pancake or the upside down. I'm getting an upside down cake, and she says all the goodness was always on the bottom, remember? Yes, and she's saying, and so as things have changed in your life, you realize all the good things that have come to you. Okay? She's talking about your heart. She's saying, you know, your heart is just full of joy. Would you understand my saying that to you? She says, and there's been a real upliftment, and I feel like working on the, okay, I'm still feeling some residual there. She says, because you have a very tender heart. Would you understand that? Yes. And you feel so much for people around you. And she's talking about, you know, it's like you take everything here. Okay? All right? And I'm going to tell you, she's saying, please, you know, we need to work on that a little bit. She says it's not as bad as it used to be, but you're still carrying so much. And after much of the work that you do, because you told me you work in the healing modes now, after much of the work that you do, she says it takes you a while to change that over and to let it go. Do you understand? Okay. She's talking here and she's saying, would you please, she says, would you please do a good cleanse for yourself before you begin to understand where it is that you're starting from. Okay? Because if you understand that, then you will know what it is after each session, how you should feel. Okay? Because then it's, I'm going back, right? And what she's saying to me here is she's saying that eventually you'll realize that the core of you will stay in that place. Okay? So we're working to always being in that place and to allow the healing to work without allowing the core, the inner self, to become involved. We're talking about detachment here. Okay? Do you understand? Empathy, not sympathy. And what it will do is it will teach you how to be more effective in the healing without allowing your emotions to become involved. Okay? Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm just being told that you have been asking how to do that or how to improve. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because I'm just being told, and I know that there's a healing, a number of healing people working with you, but I believe this is coming through this lady that I have here. Now, I feel like I have a mother or a grandmother here, okay? Yeah, a mother or grandmother. I knew I was on that link with you, okay? And just so much love, and just so very, very proud of you. She's saying, you've come so far. All right? Would you give yourself one of these? May I leave that with you, please? Okay. May I come to the gentleman, you're sitting right there with the shirt with the buttons and yeah, you're looking around now. Okay, in the second row. May I come to you, please? You sure?
Yes.
Okay, you can say no, you know. Is that all right?
Yes.
Okay. Not this gentleman in the back row. No, this one here. Okay, I don't know anybody's name. I'm sorry. It's Winston?
There's the one right at the back. So
No, not Winston. It's the gentleman here.
Right.
Yes, beside the other gentleman with the tie. May I come to you? Okay, he's not sure either. Now you know you're a long ways away, so I expect you to speak up a little, all right? As I come to you, I'm aware that I have a gentleman coming in here, please. All right? And I'm going to give this gentleman to you. And I'm not coming to you on a family link with this gentleman. I feel like he would have been an acquaintance of yours, all right? And as I'm connecting with him, I feel that I have someone who is not very good with ages, as you'll find out. But as you know, I'm like 35, seems to be 35, 40, somewhere in that age. He doesn't look very old to me, all right, is what I'm going to say to you. And I feel like you would have been younger when this person was around your life, all right? This gentleman, as I'm connecting with him, he would have passed from an illness, not an accident, all right? And I'm not being told exactly what it is. I don't know all my injuries. But I feel like it was one that was kind of invasive in the body. I don't know if it's to do with the immune system, but that would have, no, it wasn't the immune system. It had something to do with arteries and things. I just feel like with the circulation going through, it's not getting everywhere. And I particularly want to go to my leg or down in this area. All right. And don't worry about it if you don't remember, okay? I feel like it's going to come back because I don't. Right, okay, yeah. Just as he's coming in here, I feel like you may not have been so aware of that. I feel like he touched your life. I don't know that he was in your life when he was ill and passed. But I'm going to say to you why I'm asking why he's here, because he's being brought in because it's his first contact in making a connection. But he says that he comes around you. He's being brought around you and into your energy, not only as someone he knows, but because he's learning through you. All right? And I'm just being told that there have been a number of changes that have come around in your life. I'm going back about a year here. through this last year, there have been a number of different changes that you've gone through. And I feel it not so much, and I'm feeling about more internally, in belief systems and way that you think. Would you understand something like that, please? I feel like there's been a change in the last year and in how you look at things around you. What if I said that to you? Okay? Okay, so this gentleman is coming in because he was quite entrenched in a lot of things in his life, and he's been brought around to learn from this process that you have been going through. Okay? And so there's been a gentleman that has brought him here, and as I'm connecting, I have a not very tall man. I feel he's much older. I feel there's some gray in his hair. He's not very tall. I don't feel he's slight. He's of a medium build. And I will bring him to you as family, a family member. I'm not sure where I'm going to put him because being older, I could have a grandfather link or or in that generation, okay? And I feel like this gentleman, as I'm seeing him, was always most comfortable, casually dressed, and I feel like I want to put a sweater on him or something like that to be comfortable. Would you understand that, please? And he wasn't very tall, all right? And I feel like I just want to beam and smile. I feel like I have someone who was quite enjoyed life. Okay, had quite a connection and I'm feeling quite a connection with the earth with this gentleman. Would that make sense to you? Okay, because and I feel he's directing me to the earth because I feel that he felt there was quite an important connection with nature and with the earth. And I feel like it's like I want to grab it or I want to turn it over. I want to work with it in some way. And I feel that there was quite a balancing energy that came through. And it was even to how he walked on the earth. Okay, would you understand that? Okay, because I even see how he walks. There was almost what I want to call a reverence or a feeling of connection with the earth and with that energy. Would you understand? And as he comes here, he's talking about you, and he's talking about walking with you, and he's saying you understand his message because this is where you've come to. Do you understand? He said these thoughts and changes that you've had have made how you look at his beliefs and maybe what he tried to share with you and understand it much more. And in fact, I feel like you've brought more of nature around you. Would you understand? Yeah. And he's just so very pleased for you, he said, to find this. And I feel like as he's doing this, he's just saying, and he says, and life has become much more balanced. Because I feel like as I come in, I'm balanced. And I'm feeling much more connected to the earth. Right? And he says, and we need to live this life, but we can live it in a balanced way and in this connection. And so again, so much pride for you. And he says, and you were listening to the talk. He said, and it made so much sense. He says, because this has been the process for you, right? The letting go, the willingness to allow things to change. And he's saying, and he says, and as the soil turns, he says, the flower grows, and that which you've been seeking comes to you. Okay? May I leave that with you? With so much love from this gentleman. How much love? May I come to the lady in the blue jacket, please? Yeah, you're the only one here. Okay, I guess I was trying to make it, okay, the gray hair, the glasses, the earrings. And you all can answer to that, right? Okay. May I come to you, please?
Please, thank you.
As I'm coming in here, I'm just being given the word mother, please.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm being given the word mother. And again, I'm coming in here with this lady, and I feel like so much love and so much pride for you. Would you understand? And she's saying, yes, I'm proud of you. She says, but she's talking about something quite recently that you have accomplished. Okay? And she says, and now she's going to think about it and wonder what it is. But it really is so very simple. Okay? Don't look at the huge things of life, because I feel like it's something very small and not very significant. Would you understand if I say that to you? Okay? And she's saying, even that is an accomplishment. She says, okay, great. And she's talking here about you striving so much in your life to do everything and to accomplish all things. Would you understand? And she's saying that, and not only did you want to do them, but you wanted to do them well, you wanted to do them right and proper and the etiquette and the whole 9 yards. And she's saying it was very hard for you to keep that up, and I feel like it brought a lot of stress with it. Would you understand? And she's saying, and finally, she says, you're letting it go. And she's saying, can we just leave some of the dust? Would you understand? She said, can we just leave some of that? She's, because you don't have to leave it everywhere. But she says, even, you don't have to move the sofa every day or something. She says, can you just leave some things? Because I feel like it's time to put some time into yourself. She says, you've been so concerned about doing and being and whatever. She says that, you've given such little time to yourself. And she says, and when you spend time with your thoughts and what you believe and how you think, she says, it's so important. And I feel like this is the little accomplishment, right? Is kind of sitting and picking up a book or putting your feet up and just enjoying the day. And she says, and I'm so pleased, she says, to see that with you. She says that it is not just walking from here to wherever to be fit, but walking and enjoying, right? And seeing everything. And she's just so pleased, she says, that you've found this in your life. And as you do that, I feel like the stress is no longer going to be an issue. I feel, the body just softening and everything relaxing. And I feel, she's telling me here too, that, you're going to worry yourself into sickness, right? You're going to worry yourself into that. And she said, please, don't do that. She says, if you have concerns, go get it dealt with and find out what it really is, all right? And take it off your mind rather than festering about it, all right? And I feel like this is kind of your pattern. And she's saying, you have so much support and love around you to give. She said, enjoy it. Enjoy it for what it is. Take it all in, and leave the dust bunnies. Okay? And she just so much loved you. And she says, and I'm just so pleased that you're relaxing. And she says, and thank you for remembering. Okay, thank you for remembering. Because I believe that you pass on a lot of stories. Do you understand? She's talking about that. And she says, and that memory is a wonderful link. Not just between you and me, but between all of us. Okay? And she says, so thank you for sharing my story. And I feel that you've been talking her story recently.
Yes, thank you.
Okay? So much love to you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're going to thank Mary for being here. That was wonderful. I'm just going to ask her if she did closing prayer, and then we are going to have number 8, I believe. Is that what I was And we will have a circle in the center. Okay?
Gracious and loving Spirit, we give thanks for the time that we've been able to share today, for the blessings that we have found within the doors of this sanctuary. May your love and your light always guide us. May we be open to that which comes our way as we walk through this path that we have chosen. we be open to the teachers and the experiences for their challenges of joy. May we be open to sharing that which we know. May we be willing to listen. May we be willing to see. May we be willing to let go, and knowing that your light will fill us and bring us all that we need in this moment.